This is the study guide for the Honors Geometry 1-1 to 1-3 test. Number 1, we're looking at the length of AC, and here we can see A is -8 and C is 5. That is the ruler postulate, -8 minus 5. The absolute value of -8 minus 5 is the absolute value of -13, where the distance is just 13. Number 2, we need to find the value of X, EF, and FG. So here we can see that EF is given as 2x minus 12 and FG is given as 3x minus 15. So we have two algebraic expressions, and then they tell me the length of the entire segment is 23, and that's the segment addition postulate. Sorry, my brain turned off. So I'm going to scroll down here, and let me add some line paper. 2x minus 12, 3x minus 15. Oops. 2x minus 12, 12. Plus 3x minus 15. So those two pieces are going to equal the entire segment, which is 23. So it's just an algebra equation that you're solving to begin with. Again, we know that this is the segment addition postulate because the little piece plus the little piece. Here we go. Let's solving this. This should be the easy part. 2x plus 3x is 5x. Negative 12 minus 15 is negative 27. That's a 7. Equals 23. You're going to add 27 to both sides. You get 5x equals 50. Divide both sides by 5. X is equal to 10. So that was just part of our answer. X is equal to 10. I'm going to come back up here and write my solutions. So find the value of x. X equals 10. Now to find the values of EF and FG, I just need to plug that 10 in. So since we can see here that EF is 2x minus 12, I will just do 2 times 10 minus 12, which is 8. So EF is 8. And here you can either subtract 23 minus 8, or if you really wanted to, you could do the same thing with this one, 3 times 10 minus 15. You'll get the same answer either way as long as you did it correctly. FG is 15. Okay, so make sure you're giving me all of the answers the question is asking for. Number 3, same thing, except for it's the angle addition postulate. Here I see the AOC is 85 degrees. They give me that whole thing. BOC, which is the bottom angle, is 2x plus 10. And AOB, which is the top angle, is 4x minus 15. So very similarly, we know that the two smaller angles have a sum of the larger angle. And just like before, we're just going to set up an algebraic equation to help us solve that. 85. Okay, so kind of like last time, let me change colors here. So I got 4x and 2x are 6x. Negative 15 plus 10 is negative 5 equals 85. Add 5 to both sides, you get 6x equals 90. Divide both sides by 6. My brain is off. What is that? 15? Yep, 15. So the value of x is 15. Now notice on this one they didn't actually ask me for that, but they did ask me to find the measure of angles BOC and AOB, or basically the two smaller angles. And like last time, I'm just going to plug the 15 in. So like here I could do 2 times 15 plus 10, so that's what, 40. So the measure of angle BOC is 40. And if you wanted to, you could do the same thing here, 4 times 15 minus 15, or you could just subtract. Since we know the whole thing's 85, you could do 85 minus 40. Either way, you're going to get 45. So the measure of angle AOB is 45. So there's my solution for number 3. Number 4, we're using a protractor in a slightly unconventional way, but that's okay. Here we're asked to find FBG. FBG is this angle right here. And first of all, we can see that it's acute. So I'm going to go ahead and write the measure of angle FBG equals, don't know the number yet, but I do know that it's acute. And so here we can see F is actually at the 90, and G is, so this side's 125, or this side is 55. And really, it doesn't matter which one you use, because it's kind of like using the ruler postulate back on number 1. You're going to subtract and find the absolute value. And no matter which way you subtract with those two numbers or 90, you're going to get 35. So again, it's just 125 minus 90, or you could do 90 minus 55 or whatever. Again, it's kind of like finding a distance And again, the answer was 35 degrees. Now for the second angle, angle ABC, look, here's A, there's B, there's C. That's a straight line. That's a straight line. So the measure of angle ABC is 180 degrees, and that would be a straight angle. Number 5, which segment is congruent to AC? So I can see here that AC, again using the ruler posture, it's -6 minus 0, which is the absolute value of -6, or 6. So this is 6. My job is to find another one that is also 6. And I feel like that's fairly easy. You guys got it really quickly in class. See here how B is at -2 and E is at 4. That also is going to give me 6. So segment BE is also 6. If you want to look over the constructions for number 6, 7, 8, or 9, please refer to the link in Google Classroom that I have mentioned so many times. Those constructions have been done since last week, and they're on YouTube. So go look at those and practice, practice, practice. All right, the last two, that's the midpoint and distance formulas. I feel like these two are pretty easy. So I'm going to do number 10 kind of down here. Let me write these points so I can scroll up a little bit. Okay, so these are the 2 points again for number 10. And we're asked to find the midpoint. And the midpoint formula, as we all know, I'm not a fan of because it's just so easy. I'm not against it because it's easy. I'm against it because if you understand the concept, you really don't need the formula. You're just finding the average distance between the x's and the y's. So you're adding and dividing by 2. My x values are 6 and 2. Since we're adding and addition is commutative, it really doesn't matter which one you let be the ones in the 2's. 6 plus 2 divided by 2, you're just finding the average there. And the same thing with the y values. The y values, of course, are 4 and 8. 4 plus 8 divided by 2 is going to give me 8 over 2 and 12 over 2, or 4 and 6. So the midpoint of that segment is 4 and 6, and that was number 10. Number 11 is the distance formula. I won't get on my soapbox about that one either. 8, 2, and 3, 8 were those 2 points. 8, 2, and 3, 8. And again, it asks us to find the distance and round to the nearest tenth, so I will need to use my calculator at least for the last step on this one. The distance formula is the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And we talk about how this is really just the Pythagorean theorem and the ruler postulate, because that's what it is. All right, my x values are this 8 and this 3. And we talked about in class how you just need to be mindful that you're keeping your x's together and y's together, because even though subtraction is not commutative, we're about to square a number, which is going to make it positive regardless. So just be mindful of that. My y values are 2 and this 8. So 2 minus 8 squared. If you're going to choose to use your calculator, make sure you know what you're doing. You get 5 squared plus -6 squared, which is 25 plus 36, which is the square root of 61. But they specifically asked me to find this to the nearest tenth. So to the nearest tenth, it's approximately 7.8.